Hey friends, my name is Sarah and welcome to Move and Yoga. Today's video is going to be a little sequence that is going to allow us to tap into our heart space and find a little bit of grounding. You're not going to need any props, but if you have a preference to use some, you can grab them. And if you like this video, please be sure to let me know down in the comments, like the video and subscribe to the channel because it's a free and simple way that you can support free online yoga content. Anyways, if you're ready, we'll get started. So we're going to begin in a seated position. So find a nice, easy cross-legged position, or if you want, you can sit onto your knees and your heels, whatever works for you. We're just going to spend the first few moments of this sequence and class just tuning into the breath and into the body. So when you arrive, make sure you feel grounded through your sit bones. Allow your shoulders to roll down and back and just reach up through the crown of your head. Begin to soften your eyes. And slowly begin to bring awareness to your breath. Allow the breath to become deep and rich as you breathe in and out through your nose. And then I slowly want you to bring your hands together in a prayer position in front of your heart. Just push into your hands nice and gently. Notice the tension and the energy that begins to invoke as you create this little pressure. Keep breathing and just notice if there's anywhere throughout the body that you're holding onto any tension. So just check in with your jaw, check in with your shoulders, check in with your belly. So the intention and the focus of this class today will be for moving from the heart space, moving with love, moving with intention. And this is often a concept that we talk about a lot, but how can we really learn to tune into the heart space and move from a place of love? How can we allow our heart and our heart intention to not only influence us as individuals, but influence the people around us in a positive and impactful way? How can we allow each being that has a heart to be heard and seen and felt and held within this space? These are some really big questions. But I assure you these questions can be answered within your heart space. By giving yourself the opportunity to tune in, to feel, and not just to feel the good, but to feel it all. To feel in a way that's encompassing and honoring who you are and your experiences. So continue to breathe in and out through your nose, feeling this energy between your hands. And I want you to begin to focus on your heart space. And then with each inhale, as you draw energy into your lungs, saturating every cell of your being, I want you to imagine that there's a little white light in front of your heart. With every new inhale, this white light begins to expand. It begins to expand to the outer edges of your being. It continues to expand to touch your surroundings. And it continues to expand out to the people around you and the world around you. Keep keep this visualization in mind. And if there's anything that comes up within your mind that you feel that your heart is presenting to you, I want you to focus on that. Focus on any messages that arrive intuitively. And just let your heart know, I am listening. I am open. I am receptive. And I am receiving. Then together, let's take a nice, long, deep inhale through the nose. And open your mouth and sigh to release. Let's do one more of those. So in through the nose. Open your mouth and sigh to release. Then on your next breath, take an inhale. Begin to sweep your arms up and overhead. Allow your fingertips to touch. And then as you exhale, bring your hands towards your heart once again. 2 more like this. Inhale, sweep the arms open and wide up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands towards the heart. Last one, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment to slowly open your eyes. And just let the light flood back in towards your eyes and your surroundings to come back into your vision. So when you're ready, we'll begin to move through our sequence today. You're just going to bring your hands onto your knees. Ground down through your sit bones. Begin to pull on your knees as you puff your heart up towards the ceiling. Take your chest and your eye gaze up. And then as you exhale, draw your navel towards your spine, round through the shoulders. Moving through our seated cat-cow. Inhale, puff the chest up. Eye gaze goes up. Exhale through the nose, round through the spine. Last one, inhale. And then last exhale, rounding. Then when you're ready, nice and slow, come back through center. Let's take a few twists. So inhale, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring one hand behind you, one hand onto your knee. Draw up through the crown of the head and take your eye gaze towards your left shoulder. When you're ready, come back through center, sweep your arms up. Exhale, rotate to your other side. Eye gaze goes over your shoulder. Nice, once again, steady, even breath through the nose. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, bring your hands in front of your heart. Then when you're ready, nice and slow, let's just roll onto our hands and knees, and we're going to take a wide-kneed child's pose. Take your knees out nice and wide, bring your big toes together. Slowly begin to walk your hands forward. I want you to first focus on lifting your heart, tilting your sit bones back, and it's almost like you're dripping your heart down towards the mat, nice and slow. Allow your heart to come down, and then bring your third eye to touch the floor. So we find this child's pose. And once again, I just want you to imagine this white light expanding from your heart space, digging roots deep within the earth, and connecting you to every being that also exists within this plane that has a heartbeat. Feel as you breathe into this space that your heart beats as one. Take one last inhale through the nose. And you can open the mouth and sigh to release. Then from here, keep your right hand grounded. Just walk it a little bit closer towards you. Take an inhale, Reach your left arm up, left eye gaze up, and begin to find a rotation. We come into a shoulder stretch, drop your left ear down, and maybe walk your right fingertips forward. Feeling the stretch here, threading the needle in our child's pose. Still connecting to that breath. Nice and rich and full, in and out through the nose. Then when you're ready, nice and slow, let's take it to the other side. First, take your right arm up, take your eye gaze up, and then find your shoulder stretch. You can take your left fingertips forward and just settle in here. And then when you're ready, let's come back to center. Bring your knees together. Extend your arms forward. Begin to tuck your toes. Lead with your hips, and let's come into our first downward facing dog. So just take a moment here to ground down through your hands, ground down through your feet. Pedal everything out. Get your little wiggles and jiggles out. If this is your first stretch of the day, you might feel a little bit more tighter than usual. It's okay. Just get your little fidgets out, and then when you're ready, find a moment of stillness in your downward facing dog. You might need to keep a little micro bend through the knees. Just allow the hips to lead up towards the ceiling. And then when you're ready, take a nice long inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale through the nose. Nice and full, and nice and loud and clear out through the mouth. So use that breath to clear any stagnant energy. 1 more in through the nose. Open your mouth to release. Then from here, you're going to take an inhale, rise into the balls of your feet. Begin to tilt your hips up towards the ceiling. Wave yourself forward. Keep pushing the back of your heart up towards the ceiling as you come up into your your plank position. Keep your heels drawing back, draw your thighs in towards each other, ground down through your hands and connect into the earth. Imagine that you have roots anchoring you down through the soles of your feet and your hands. Keep drawing your navel up. Nice and steady. And then nice and slow, you're going to begin to tilt your hips towards the earth. Draw your shoulder blades back, keep your toes tucked, and let's come into our upward facing dog. Slingshot your heart towards the top of the mat. Feel the engagement through your legs. Breathe once again into your heart space. Feel the energy reside within this place. Then nice and slow, you're going to lift your right toes, point them towards the back of your mat, and then begin to lead with the toes as you come into a 3-legged downward dog. Right toes reach up towards the ceiling. Then from here, rise into the ball of the left foot, draw your right knee in towards the chest, and then step your right foot towards the top of the mat. Take an inhale as you drop your back knee and draw your arms up towards the ceiling. And we find a low lunge. Eye gaze goes up. Take a few steady, even breaths here. Just feeling through your foundation. Make sure that your shoulder blades are pulling down and back. Then from here on your next breath, cactus your arms. Begin to puff your heart up towards the ceiling. So imagine someone's pulling your heart up with this string. And then nice and slow, bring your hands to frame your front foot. Shift your hips back and find your half splits. Really root through your right heel, flex your toes towards your face. Keep a little micro bend in the leg, in the knee, back of the knee. Take an inhale, lengthen through your spine as you arc your heart towards your toes. And then as you exhale, fold over your thigh. 2 more of those. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And then exhale. Then from here, shift your weight forward, plant your right foot, frame your foot with your hands, tuck your back toes, pick up your back knee. Then begin to Shift the weight into your right leg as you float your back leg up. We come into our standing splits. If you need to, walk your hands forward, but I want you to work to draw the crown of your head down towards the earth, keeping a little micro bend in the right knee, reaching the left toes up towards the ceiling. Nice, steady, even breath. And then when you're ready, bend into your right knee, begin to draw your arms up. Left knee comes in towards the chest, arms go up. You can stay here. If you want to take a twist, bring your right hand on the outer edge of your right knee and then take your left arm behind you. Maybe take your eye gaze towards your left thumb. Slowly come back through center, sweep your arms up. Begin to hinge at your hips as you bring your hands in front of your heart. Shoot your left toes back, and we're going to align through our warrior three with your hands in front of your heart. Keep the engagement through your left toes, so point your floating toes so that leg is active. Then when you're ready, take an inhale, expand your arms nice and wide. And then as you exhale, bring your hands in front of your heart. Bring that energy back towards the heart center. Two more like this. Inhale, reach the arms wide. Exhale, bring the energy back towards the heart. Last one, inhale. And then exhale. Then nice and slow, bend into your right knee. Drop your back toes towards the back of the mat. And then inhale into your crescent lunge. Keep a micro bend in the left knee, the back knee, and take your eye gaze and your arms up towards the ceiling. Then from here, bring your hands into a prayer position. Bring them behind your head. Puff your heart up towards the ceiling. Stay here or begin to extend your arms towards the back of the mat. Nice and slow. Hands come down. And then step the right foot towards the back of the mat. Find your downward facing dog. Take a nice long inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Then when you're ready, inhale, begin to rise onto the balls of your feet. Wave yourself forward. Find your plank position. Nice and strong. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Ground down through the hands. So push against the earth. And you'll find a little more lifting, a little more strength. We're trying to get every part of our being to communicate with the other. So turn the lights on. Feel the activation, feel the heat. Then nice and slow, sink your hips down. Pull your shoulder blades back and unfurl into your upward facing dog. Connect to a nice, steady, even breath here. Even if it doesn't feel steady, set the intention to breathe with awareness and presence. Then keep the right toes tucked. Point the left toes towards the back of your mat. Then nice and slow, lead with the left toes as you come back into your three-legged dog. Reach through the left toes. Then on your next breath, rise onto the ball of the right foot. Left knee comes in towards the chest as you step your foot at the top of the mat. Drop your back knee down. Untuck your back toes. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Low lunge. Eye gaze goes up. Feel the lift through the heart, reaching up towards the sky. Make sure your shoulder blades are drawing down and back. On your next breath, frame your front foot, shift your hips back, and then find your half splits. Root down through your heel and flex your toes towards your face. So this leg is engaged, and have a little micro bend in the left knee. Then inhale, ripple your heart forward, feeling it reach towards your toes, and then as you exhale, fold. Nice, steady, even breath. Then when you're ready, shift your weight forward, plant your front foot, tuck your back toes, pick up your back knee, and then float your right leg and come into your standing splits. See if you can find control with the floating. Work to draw the crown of your head down towards the earth and make sure that your right toes are engaged. So I don't want to see a soft limp leg. Activate the back leg. Find your breath. Then slowly begin to bend into your left knee. Begin to rise as you draw your right knee in towards your chest. Arms come up overhead. Stay here if you want to take a twist. Left hand comes to the outer edge of your right knee. Right arm comes behind you. Maybe take your eye gaze towards your right thumb. Slowly come back through center, sweep your arms up. Then from here, bring your hands in front of your heart in a prayer position, hinge at your hips, extend your right leg out and find your warrior three. Once again, make sure that your right toes are active. So point through the right toes, reach out, find length in every direction. Then on your next inhale, spread your arms nice and wide, open your heart and your energy to the earth. And then as you exhale, bring the energy back towards your heart. Inhale, open the arms nice and wide. Exhale, bring the energy back towards the heart. Last one, inhale. And then exhale. Nice and slow, bend into the left knee with control. Plant your right toes towards the back of the mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up towards the ceiling. Puff your heart up, keep a micro bend in your right knee. So you can stay here or you bring your hands in a prayer position. Bring them behind your head. Push the back of your head into your hands. Keep puffing your heart up. So imagine someone's pulling your heart up with a string. And then slowly begin to extend your arms behind you. And then nice and slow, bring your hands down onto the mat. Step back into a downward facing dog. Take a nice long inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Then from here, let's take an inhale, wave forward. Rise into the balls of the feet. Push the back of your heart up towards the ceiling. Find your high plank position. Draw your navel in towards your spine. Then drop your knees down onto the earth. Tilt your sit bones, shine your heart forward, and then slowly begin to lower your chin and your chest towards the earth, hips reach up. Then from here, untuck your back toes and push forward into your cobra pose. Squeeze your elbows in towards each other, activate through your legs. Keep lifting the heart up. Once again, see if you can breathe nice and steady into your heart space. Maybe even close your eyes. Imagine this light as it illuminates your heart, illuminates your being, and it projects itself out into the world. And from here, tuck your toes, begin to bend your knees, lead with your hips, push back into a child's pose with your toes tucked. Drop the crown of the head. Then on your next inhale, begin to rise onto your knees, sweep your arms up, puff your heart up, and then begin to cactus your arms. Keep puffing your heart up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other and maybe begin to push your hips forward. You can stay here or you can interlace your hands behind your back. Pull your hands away from your lower back and keep puffing your heart up. Feel the strength of your legs, and then nice and slow, release. Bring your hands forward, retuck your toes, and push back into your downward facing dog. Take a nice long inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Then from here, take an inhale, draw the right leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee, and then open your hip. Maybe take a few circles with the knee, just to get into the hip space. Then from here, draw your knee nice and high, come onto the ball of the left foot, and then step your right foot to the outer edge of your right hand with control. Keep your back knee lifted, and we find our lizard pose. I want you to work on drawing this left thigh up, back thigh up, but at the same time sink down into your front thigh. Use your hands to ground you down and rebound your heart forward. Keep your eye gaze up so your energy is lifted, and that is the intention, keeping the heart space and our heart energy lifted and elevated and connected. Find your breath here nice and steady. Then nice and slow, drop your back knee down. From here, you're going to work your left fingertips off of your mat. You're going to come onto the fingertips and the thumb. Squeeze them together to create this energy lock. Take an inhale, draw your right arm up towards the ceiling. Then begin to bend your back knee and see if you can reach back for your foot. If you can grab onto your foot, that's great. If not, just work to reach for it. So keep squeezing your foot towards your hand. If you can reach for the foot, begin to straighten your front leg as you connect your foot and your sit bone towards each other. Bring your fingertips onto the roots of the toes. Begin to puff your heart up towards the ceiling and then re-bend into your right knee as you lean forward. Keep arcing your heart up towards the ceiling. Nice and steady, even breath. Then slowly release. Bring your hands back towards the top of the mat. Pick up your back knee and then step your right foot back towards a downward facing dog. Take a nice long inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale, draw the left leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee. Take a few circles with the knee just to get into the hip space. Then begin to rise on the ball of the right foot. Take the left foot nice and high as you step the left foot to the outer edge of your left hand. Find your lizard pose. Once again, back thigh draws up nice and strong, but sink into the front thigh. Keep your heart lifted and drawing towards the top of the mat, and take your eye gaze in the same direction. Connect to a nice, steady, even breath. Maybe just take a moment to close your eyes and just feel into your body. Feel into what is happening and the conversation that your body is having with you. And just see if you can move away from any sort of narratives or labels about how you think you should feel or think you should look. And just let the experience occur and unfold just as it is. Take one last inhale through the nose. As you exhale, slowly drop your back knee towards the mat. Bring your right fingertips off of the mat. Take an inhale, extend your left arm up. So keep squeezing the thumb and the fingers towards each other. Puff your heart up as high as you can. Once again, imagine someone's drawing you up through your heart with a string. Begin to bend the back knee as you reach back for your foot. If you can't reach it and you're like this, stay here. If you can reach it, cup the foot at the base of the toes with your hands. Straighten your front leg as you connect your sit bone and your foot towards each other. And then with this connection in place, begin to lean forward. Keep puffing your heart up towards the ceiling. Breathing into the heart space. Breathing into the energy and the intensity. Allowing whatever it is that is arising to be seen, to be felt, to be heard, to be experienced. And then nice and slow release. Bring your hands back towards the top of the mat. Pick up your back knee and step back into a downward facing dog. Take a nice long inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Take an inhale, rise onto the balls of the feet. Begin to wave yourself forward as you push the back of your heart towards the ceiling. Draw your navel in towards your spine. Make sure your legs are active. Heels are drawing back. Then nice and slow, drop your knees towards the earth. Sink your belly. Tilt your hips up. Pull your heart forward. And then begin to drop your chest and your chin towards the earth. Hands are by the side. Then untuck your toes, bring the tops of the feet onto the mat. Push your hands as you furrow your heart forward and come into your cobra pose. In towards each other, push into the tops of the feet. Make sure you're active through your legs. Then from here, begin to lift your hands up. Keep squeezing through the back body, activating the back chain. Nice steady breaths. And even if it doesn't feel steady, set the intention of at least breathing with awareness and presence. Then nice and slow, pick up your feet. Begin to extend your arms towards your feet. Keep lifting the heart. Then bend the knees and at the same time reach for your ankles. Flex your feet and then kick your feet as you arc your heart up a little bit further. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other, connect to that breath. Nice and strong, nice and active. Keep lifting through the heart. find the courage to feel. Then with control, slowly release. Just bring your hands in front of your face to stack, and then just drop your face down. Close your eyes and just give yourself a moment to drop all of your weight and really feel. Come back to your breath. Feel the beating of your heart. And when you're ready, nice and slow, bring your hands by your side, tuck your toes. Lead with your hips as you push back into a child's pose, but keep your heart lifted. Take your eye gaze forward, and then slowly with control, melt your heart as if you're moving through something sticky, and then allow your head to be the last thing that comes towards the earth. Take a nice long inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Then rise onto your knees, draw your arms up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands into a prayer position, bring them behind your head. Push your hand into your head into your hands. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other, draw your navel in towards your spine. Begin to push your hips forward and then rebound your heart as if it's a fountain shooting up towards the ceiling. We're focusing here on height and less about curving into the back. So you can stay here if you want to take it a little further. Release your arms. Keep reaching your heart up, but at the same time, see if you can bring your hands onto your ankles. If you're here in your camel pose, keep puffing your heart up towards the ceiling. Engage through your glutes. Make sure you only take it to the degree that feels okay in the lower spine. Think up. Think length instead of depth. And see if you can once again breathe into your heart space. Reach a place and a depth that requires your presence, your awareness. And nice and slow with control. Come up, bring your hands in front of your heart, untuck your toes and sit back onto your heels. Bring your hands onto your thighs, just close your eyes. Take a nice long inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. Then plant your hands, tuck your toes and push back into your downward facing dog. Then from here, take an inhale, draw your right leg up towards the ceiling. Draw your knee in towards your chest and then plant your foot at the top of the mat. Pivot your back foot so it's parallel to the short edge. Windmill wrap your arms up. And let's find our warrior two stance. Take your eye gaze over your middle finger. Ground down through your feet. Feel the strength of the warrior. Connect to your inner warrior. Recognize your own power and your own ability to tap into this energy source through the connection of the earth, through the connection of the sky. And then when you're ready, interlace your hands behind your back, puff your heart up towards the ceiling, and then as you exhale, humble your brain towards the earth. Connect to this pose of humility. Recognize who you are and your place in the world. Understand your influence and your ability to incite change, to incite inspiration, to incite love and connection. Know that you are here for service. We are here together in this collective experience. We are here to help one another, to love one another, to encourage one another. Then when you're ready, begin to rise. Come up. Begin to straighten your front leg. Extend your arms out. Keep a little micro bend in your front leg. lean forward. So imagine first that you're reaching for something, and then begin to hinge as you find your triangle pose. You can bring your right hand onto your shin, or onto a block, or onto the floor, whatever feels good for you. Begin to take your eye gaze up towards the ceiling. See if you can rotate your right ribs, your bottom ribs, up towards the ceiling. Then from here, see if you can begin to cactus your left arm and keep reaching your heart up towards the top of your mat. Then nice and slow, extend your left arm towards the top of the mat. Then with control, bend into your right knee. Use your arms to draw you up. Find your warrior two just for a moment. And then slowly bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, rise into the balls of the feet, wave yourself forward. Push the back of your heart up towards the ceiling into your plank position. Then drop your knees, sink your belly till your sit bones, and bring just your chest and your chin to the earth. Untuck your toes, push yourself forward into your cobra pose, arcing your heart up. Then nice and slow, tuck the toes, bend the knees, lead with your hips, and come back into your downward facing dog. Take a nice long inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Then inhale, left leg draws up, bend the knee as you draw the knee in towards your chest, slowly step your foot at the top of the mat, pivot your back foot, and then bring your arms up, and let's find our warrior two once again. So once again, feel that connection to the earth. Take your eye gaze over your middle finger. As you inhale, feel the energy draw up through the soles of your feet, all the way up through your center and out through the crown of your head. And then on your exhale, imagine that breath reversing from the crown of your head all the way back into the earth, out through the soles of the feet. This pose allows us to feel the connection through these two planes, to reincite groundedness and stability. And then when you're ready, interlace your hands behind your back, puff your heart up towards the ceiling, take your eye gaze up, and then as you exhale, come into your humble warrior. Draw the crown of your head down towards the earth, allow your arms to come overhead. Breathe into your feet, breathe into any intensity, and say yes to this moment. Yes to feeling, yes to presence, yes to moving from a place of love and intention. Then nice and slow on your next breath, inhale, begin to rise. Begin to straighten your left leg, your front leg. Extend your arms out. Keep a little micro bend, so don't bend too generously, but don't lock your front knee, just a little bend. Extend through your arms as you reach your left fingertips towards the top of the mat, and then hinge as you find your triangle pose. Take your eye gaze up towards the ceiling if you can. I want you to focus on rotating your left ribs, your bottom ribs up. So find this rotation. Keep reaching up through the right fingertips. Nice, steady, even breath. Make sure that your toes are turned on and that they're helping to stabilize you into the earth by gripping into the mat. Then cactus your right arm. Keep puffing your heart towards the top of your mat. Slingshotting it forward. Then slowly extend the right arm towards the top of the mat, reaching through the fingers, making sure your fingers are engaged, getting every part of your body into the action. And then nice and slow, bend into the left knee. Begin to rise. Find your warrior pose. Then frame your front foot. And then step back into your downward facing dog. Our last time, we're going to wave forward nice and high into the balls of the feet, pushing the back of your heart up towards the ceiling as you find your plank pose, engaging through the glutes. Nice, steady, even breath. Then slowly drop your knees, sink your belly down, tilt your hips back, find the arc through your spine, and then begin to lower your chest and your chin towards the mat. Then from here, untuck your toes, push yourself forward and come up into your cobra pose. Activate through your back body as you squeeze your elbows in. Push the tops of your toes into the mat and arc your heart forward. Once again, breathe into this space. Feel the energy as it rebounds out. Then nice and slow, tuck your toes, lead with your hips, push back into a child's pose. Allow your heart to melt towards the earth and take it nice and slow and let your third eye be the last thing that connects to the ground. When you arrive here, take a nice long inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. One more of those, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Then when you're ready, nice and slow, sit back onto your heels, bring your hands, palms facing up on top of your thighs, and just close your eyes. Just take a moment to reconnect to your breath. And just notice either the subtle or gross sensations that are moving through your body. Bring awareness to your physical being. Then once again, bring your attention to your heart space. From here, bring both of your hands onto your heart. And with that same energy and pressure that we had at the beginning of the class by pushing our hands into each other, push this into your heart. Feel the beating of your heart. And remind yourself, I am listening, I am open, I am receiving, I am receptive to your guidance and your love. Take a nice long inhale through your nose. Then open your mouth and sigh to release. You can slowly release your hands and gently open your eyes. If you feel called to do so, you may take a Shavasana here and now. I always encourage this at the end of the class, even if it's just for 10 nice, long, deep, conscious breaths, allowing yourself to settle into your body and integrating anything that may have risen up in your practice. But if not, if you would like to end the class here, that's also okay. We'll end the class with one last breath cycle. So just bring your hands in front of your heart. Once again, close your eyes or just soften your gaze. Take a nice, long, deep inhale through your nose and then exhale through your mouth. I hope as you continue to move out throughout your day and the days to come, that you can come from a place of love and compassion for yourself, for the people around you, and the world around you. More than ever, we need this love in the world, and we need our actions to come from a place of love. We need our movement to come from a place of love. So be open to giving and open to receiving. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, if you would like to connect with me, please feel free to do so through this place or anywhere else on the internet. And I am really grateful and thankful for you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.